What does the achievement mean to you?
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot. I mentioned up on stage the past winners and the motivation and the guidance they've given me. The three guys since I've been here, and Sean, Lukey and Andy, and then the past winners like Dave and Fifey that I've played with. And I guess, like I said, the guidance that they've given me has really motivated me up to this point, and they're guys that I really look up to. So to be, I guess, recognised alongside those guys, it's pretty special.
The season you've had, what do you put it down to? What sort of made that leap possible for you?
I think a full pre-season helps. This was I think the first time since I've been at the footy club that I've been able to put a full pre-season together with no missed sessions, no missed anything. So that's a big part of, I guess, hitting the ground running from the start of the year and having that continuity in your body and that trust. And I think that improves my physical capability coming into this year as well. And then I think the second thing was the mental side of the game. I reflected on last year pretty heavily once we finished in the finals, and a big part of that was my consistency. I felt like I showed what I could do at different parts of the year, and some of the games I really had big impacts in those games, but I wasn't able to back it up week after week, and that was something that I really wanted to focus on. And I've gone to work on that with the sports psych away from the footy club, and that's helped me an unbelievable amount. And I can stand here and say that that's played probably the biggest part in me getting to where I am this year.
You think there's still a fair bit of improvement in you and this midfield group?
Yeah, massive. For me, I know that physically, just touching on physically, I've got a lot to grow in fitness and strength and I guess body composition and everything. So I'm really looking forward to using this off-season and pre-season to get a lot better in that space. And then there's no I guess ceiling on what you can do in terms of craft. And I mentioned Joel Corey in there. He's someone that has worked really closely with me, and the running patterns and the body work. And I'm nowhere near a finished product in that space, and I've got a lot of area to growth in there. And that's something that I'll go to work on as a midfield group. That's something that we will work on, the craft, the body work, and just playing more footy together. That's the biggest part of, I guess, the chemistry and those kind of things and improvement. Is the more footy you play together, the better you'll get.
How does it sit right now? You're watching finals. This time last year you were playing in them. How does it sit right now?
It's tough. It's tough to watch. I haven't been able to watch a full game yet. I get a little bit frustrated and kind of want to turn it off. But yeah, it's a privilege to play in those games and be under that pressure and be playing in September. So I guess at the time last year, you kind of take it a little bit for granted as a young player, and you get to that point and you're kind of like, oh yeah, this is going to keep happening as a young group. And when you have a year like we have this year and it hasn't gone to plan, it really makes you appreciate playing in those big games and getting exposed to that stuff. So we're, as a group, we've got no doubt, so that's where we want to be, and we'll try to do that as of next year.
Where does this achievement sit for you, so early on in your career, because you've got all Australia and that rising star to go along with it? Whereabouts does it sit for you?
Yeah, it's a massive honour. It's right up there. I think, as I've kind of mentioned before, team stuff is number one for me, and getting back to finals and winning a premiership. So it's up there, but there's a big piece missing, and that's playing in a grand final, winning a grand final, and that's all I care about is getting the first for this football club. I'm so passionate about this club. I absolutely love being here. Since I've walked in the doors, they've embraced me like family. So this is a family to me, and the supporters and the staff, they deserve a premiership, and that's something we're working towards.
You mentioned in your speech too the finals win last year against the Bulldogs and how special that was. Is that a bit of a motivating factor for you in the off-season point to get back to that environment and that finals atmosphere?
Definitely. That was incredible to have pretty much 100% of the people in the stadium barracking for you, and have the game played out the way it did, and that was, I guess, played a big part in the anticipation and the noise from our fans. And we don't want to put ourselves in that situation again. But and then the week after playing Collingwood at the G, that was another experience in itself. So to have those two experiences, they're pretty good tasters to want to get back to that final scene, which is exciting.
Your coach Justin mentioned up on stage that he's more confident standing here now than he was 12 months ago. Does that resonate with our playing group as well?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't spoken to the other guys, but for me, I'm so excited. I said out up there that I think most of our team, if not all of our first premiership side, is in this room, and I'm so confident in the guys that we've got, and I just think that obviously this year we got younger, and that's no excuse, but we did, and there was guys that played some really good footy this year that are young guys that are going to keep growing, and the amount of growth that we saw in individuals last pre-season that's going to happen again this year, and there's going to be guys going to another level, and I can't wait to see guys like Jai Amos have another pre-season and go to another level. Matthew Johnson, Neil Erasmus, these guys that have been growing since they walked in the door, they've got so much growth left in them, and another pre-season is just going to help that again.
And how have you been able to balance, the step up in leadership and taking on that vice captaincy this year as well as taking a game to the level?
I think Moose touched on it in there in his speech, but the group that we've got in that leadership group's really hungry to lead, and that's great because there's not one person or two people that are taking on more load. It's spread through the group, and there's other guys underneath that are really, I guess, driving those standards and pushing and helping us as well lead. So you guys like Lukey Ryan, Lockie Schultz, Jordan Clark, these kind of guys are really taking on more load as well, and that's what you need. You need depth of leadership. It doesn't come from one or two guys. So that's something that will continue to grow. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I've kind of taken away from the year is that the biggest impact you can have on a team as a leader is by leading by example and doing it on game day when the chips are down, when things are tough, and really standing up when that matters. So that's something I've taken away.
The work you did with the psychologist, can you tell us a little bit more about what you did and how it's helped?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and I'd be here for a while if I went into them all, but the biggest thing is there's a lot of doubts that come into AFL players' heads, and you see the confidence out there on game day, and there's flair and everything, and guys trusting themselves, all that kind of stuff, but that's not sometimes natural, and there's a lot of doubts that creep in, and I'm no different. I've had a lot of doubts, and last year that was probably something that I let kind of fluctuate my game, was when my confidence was down, I struggled to perform at times, but the biggest thing that we've kind of worked on is what makes me me, and how I can just get back to, no matter what the situation is, what's happening in the game, how I'm playing, I know what I'm going to do, I know the processes I'm going to take mentally and physically to get myself back on task and into the game. And there's simple processes for me that they took a fair bit of work to embed, and that was all through pre-season and training and practicing games, and they're not perfect at the moment. I'll keep growing them, but that's something that's allowed me to, I guess, come back to the moment and be present, which a lot of people talk about.
And have you kept working with the side through the season, or is it just off season thing?
No, we've been working together, so we'll continue to work together. I've had a lot of growth in that space, but there's so much that I still ask him and quiz him about, and I'll call him at times a night or two before the game with a fair few doubts and nerves going through my head, and sometimes all it takes is just getting it off your chest and verbalising it, and then it kind of diffuses what you're feeling and what's happening in your mind. So that's something that I'll continue to work on. I've found real great benefit in that, which is something that's I guess for me, finding that so new in my career and young in my career is a massive benefit.
Being up on stage with Luke Jackson and Brayshaw and Ryan and Amos, and how exciting is it to have all these blokes so young and early on in their careers and be able to build together?
It is. It's something that we're very grateful to have. We've got a lot of young guys that they're really talented, but guys that want to work hard. There's no one at our club that is taking the easy option or anything like that. We've got guys that are really hungry to get better and get better quick, and that's something that we've spoken a lot about, and that's why we have full faith that we're going to be back where we want to be next year, and that's because guys are invested, guys have a real hunger to get better quick, and those young guys that you spoke about, they have the talent to go with it, which is really exciting, and we've got a lot of guys in that same boat, so that's something that's really exciting, and we're going to keep driving each other and pushing each other to get better, which is great.